I have made this scarf. You can see the end of it. And I've decided that what I want to do is cinch the end because it was designed to curl anyway. So I'm going to cinch that end together, and then I'm going to add a tassel on each end. So I thought I'd give you some of my tips and tricks for putting a tassel together. First thing is you want to go through your stash and find colors that you want to put together. Now this is a indigo blue scarf. I could choose anything. I could have gone red, I could have gone yellow. I could go through and find all my blues. There's just so many possibilities. And one thing you want to know is that they don't all have to be the same weight. It's really kind of fun if you mix together different weights of yarn because it gives it a different texture, different look. If you have sparkle yarn, that's always fun to put in a tassel. So really just go through and gather your scraps and see what makes you happy. One thing I always do in my tassels, I'm making them with yarn that's typically not in the scarf because usually I've used up most all my yarn for my scarf. But I do like to include just a little. So I've got this left over from making the scarf and I'm going to put that in my tassel, but it's not going to be the main yarn of my tassel. As I was going through and looking at all the different cool things that I had, I kind of settled in on this palette of Plied North Avenue. I have a lot of bits and bobbles, some bobbins, some leftovers, and I thought it would be really fun. I like the texture, I like the colors, and I think it's going to look really nice on the end of the scarf. So gathered everything together, and I'm going to kind of push this out of the way so you can see. I just lined up more or less all the colors so that I'm not wrapping individual colors. I am doing it all at once. Saves time. I do this for my, when I'm doing pom-poms too, because it's faster. Okay, then to wind your tassel, you can choose, there's a lot of tassel winding tools out there that are great. I'm going to show you how to do this if you don't have one of those. I pick a book. Actually, if you have an old video VHS tape case, they came in those, they're almost like books that you open up, but they have a nice ridge. What you're looking for, why I chose this book, I don't know if you can see it on the black background, but it gives it a nice, there we go, ridge in here that I'm going to be able to get my scissors in to cut the tassel apart. And so if you have, I found those VHS covers, whatever they are great. It's a great size, makes a great tassel. This is going to be a little longer than I'm going to want, but that's great because then I've got plenty of room to trim it and make it even. So you want to pick something that's just a little longer than you want your actual tassel to be. And you're just going to start winding. I put the loose ends on the side that I'm going to cut. And I hold them with my finger. And I'm just going to wind. Okay, when you get to the point where you're thinking this is probably enough, do one more time. Because I found you can never have enough. When I think I'm done, it's always good to have a little extra. The other thing that you do want to keep an eye on is if you still have yarn in the different colors for the other side, because I'm going to make 2 tassels. They don't need to be identical. They could be really different. But I like to have, in this case, I want them to be consistent. And so I want to make sure that I'm going to have a little bit of each of these colors for the other side. And definitely a little bit of the yarn that the scarf was in. So I'm going to stop here and find where I might put my scissors. and just cut that off. All right, and then I'm going to take a little bit of this yarn, say, I don't know, a foot, 12 inches, and cut that off. And I'm going to string it through the side that I'm not going to cut. Put this on a needle. This is the top, and this is the part that's going to attach to the scarf. I'm just going to go under there and try and catch all the threads. And I'm just going to tie this. When I tie knots that I want to really stay, I have a trick for keeping them solidly twisted, I guess. I go, normally that's what you would twist for a knot just once, but I go an extra one, and that gives it even more grip. If the yarn for your scarf is not especially sturdy, then you can use anything to tie it together. But now I've got them tied together. Okay, then what I'm gonna do is use this little valley here to stick my scissors in. And cut this apart. All right. Okay, so you've got the top secure, you've cut it off, and now the next thing you want to do is wrap this so that it has a tassel shape. So I take my yarn that I'm going to wrap with, this is about, I don't know, 18 inches maybe, and line it up with the bottom of my tassel, and I've got it held firmly in my hand, and I'm just going to wrap it around tightly because you want to keep all those threads in place. I go round and round until I have about, I have a little extra, but that's good. So I'm going to wrap it there. And then I'm going to find that first end, and I'm going to tie a knot. And another one just to be really sure. And then these just hang down, the tails hang down, and they're part of the tassel. And then you can kind of comb through here and trim it. You can decide how long you want it, and or you just want it about this length, but you want to straighten it up. So it seems more even. And as you wear it and these relax a little bit, you can also steam them so that they're straighter. You can see that, oh yeah, there's still some stragglers. So you might be trimming your tassel for a few days. But there you have it. And I'm going to put it on the end of my scarf. So first I'm going to cinch this. And to cinch it, I'm just going to go to the opposite end and start picking up stitches all around. And cinch. So now it's kind of a tube. And I'm going to stitch a knot in there. Okay. And then I'm going to take this end and I'm going to bury it in my tassel. So now you've got it attached, and now you've got these that are holding everything together at the top. And this is really what I'm going to use to attach it to the scarf and make sure that it's really sturdy in there. So I'm just going to sew it on to the scarf, these stitches that I cinched. And as you can see, I'm not always going in the same place. It's not any, you want it to be sturdy. It's not really anything that you're gonna see. Just want it to hang on there. We're going under and through. And so I've got another one to do. So I'm going to go just to here, and I'm going to sew in a knot. And once again, I'm going to bury it in my tassel. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. Make sure that it gets, it seems pretty sturdy on there, so I don't probably have to go as many with this one. I'm going to knot that side, oops, and bury it. So there you have it, a tassel on the end of my scarf.